Okay, welcome back to another video about the beloved Blackpool. There we see the tower under great indigo lights. I don't know if that picks up on the camera, but this is Saturday night. What date is it? Something like the 16th of January. 16th of January, Saturday night, Blackpool Tower, and normally Saturday night in Blackpool would be full of revellers and all waiting to revel in the joy that Blackpool brings, but now nothing. The streets are empty, the streets are bare, as you can see. Usually these streets are full of stag parties, hen parties, every kind of debauchery that you can mention going on in the land of fun. Sea Life Centre on the left, and now we see no life as we go into deeper Blackpool. There's Central Pier on the right, devoid of life. It's a bit like after a nuclear fallout, you would imagine, and all that's left over are the cockroaches, all the roaches on the floor, and completely empty. We haven't seen one person yet, so we're just leaving Central now, going towards South Pier on the main promenade. They call this the Golden Mile, but it's not actually a mile, and it's certainly not golden. It should be called something like the Wretched Mile, but it's not a mile. It's actually 4 miles long from where it would start, like in Bispham, and going to Stargate. So it's about 4 miles long. We've got the few hotels there devastated and empty on the left, and it's funny when there's nothing going on. There's not much to mention in a town like Blackpool, which has now become like a one-horse town. Quite a funny things happened with the lockdown and the COVID crisis and everything else. So we've got one of Blackpool's most popular hotels on the left, which is called the Lindeen Hotel, which is always packed. But here tonight we see the Lindeen Hotel with a completely empty car park. There it is. No one on. They've usually got cabaret acts on, and there's St Chad's next door, which was never that full anyway. So and there's a great chippy up that street as well called Seaside Fish and Chips. I bet it took a long time to dream that name up. And all these hotels, which are usually full of people, now only have the cars of the proprietors there, proprietors of Blackpool, pulling their hair out, wondering when the lockdown is going to end. I read an interesting statistic. In the months of March to December 2020, only 388 people died of coronavirus under the age of 60. So most of the people who died were over 60, but more than that, most of the people who died were over 80. The average age of death in the UK being 82, which ironically is the average age of death anyway. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it, that why close a whole town like this, a town of fun, a town of enjoyment. There's Grosvenor Casino, where you can lose your shirt, your car and your house all in one night. Water park. I'm coming up now on the left to one of Blackpool's main attractions, which is Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's a shame it's not lit up, or you could see the huge roller coaster. Yeah, so as we depart the land of fun, one has to wonder when the Town of Fun will reopen, if at all. I mean, is it going to be a case of we can open up when you've all had your RNA vaccines? Is it all a case of when you do what you're told, you can come out again? Is it all a case of that gaslighting kind of domestic violence, but like a sort of macro domestic violence, where if you're a good person, you can do what you want to. If you're not, you'll have to stay at home, and we're going to lock you up. So finally, here's one of Blackpool's latest additions, which is the Hampton Hotel on the left, which is owned by Hilton. Very nice, very glamorous. A lot of their rooms have got a sea view, and that'll be thriving when everywhere opens again. And there's the Headlands Hotel, one of the few older ones. And so as we leave now, the last spectacle in Blackpool is the tram depot at the end of the promenade, which goes into what's called Squire's Gate. The actual end of this promenade is called Stargate, and so here's the tram depot with a beautiful new tram entering its home for the night. So we'll see that, and then I'll sign off for another day from Blackpool, from England's west coast, with love and best wishes to anyone who hears this, and all my 8 followers from around the world. There you go. See you soon.